In today's segment of news I could have predicted from a mile away, President Donald Trump is rumored to have a girlfriend. I know. You're as shocked as I. But if you take into consideration the heavy amount of awkwardness that exists between Trump and his wife, Melania Trump, her rumored boyfriend and his rise to the Oval Office, it's not that hard to believe. Trump is doing what most in power usually do. They hire young, beautiful girls who zero experience and then are baffled when people think they're probably at least trying to sleep with them. This is Hope Hicks, the president's longest-serving political aide and the former White House Director of Strategic Communications who recently replaced Anthony Scaramucci as the White House Communications Director. Not only is she beautiful, but the 28-year-old used to be a former model. She worked in public relations until 2012, when she started helping one of her clients, Ivanka Trump, expand her fashion line. She joined the Trump forces full-time in 2014 and also modeled for Ivanka's website, which is supposedly how Trump discovered her. Now, there hasn't been any real tangible proof that the two are having an affair, but as soon as she was named the Director of Strategic Communications, everybody started to wonder. Because, well, the situation. With virtually every president that's ever sat in the office, people love to speculate on any potential of scandal, especially those romantic in nature. In July, Claude Taylor, who worked in the White House when Bill Clinton was president, tweeted that he heard Trump was having an affair. Immediately, Hope Hicks' name was thrown into the pile of potential girlfriends. Here's all the details, rumors and theories we know about the 28-year-old with a big White House job. 1. Trump gave her cute pet names. The bond the two share is not a secret in the White House. Trump publicly and affectionately calls her Hoppister. While that could be a friendly gesture that's earned by sticking by Trump's side through all this political antics, it could also be a cute nickname you give your 28-year-old girlfriend. And he's been known to call her Hopi. 2. She has zero political experience. Other than a cute interview she gave her hometown magazine when she modeled for their cover, Hope has displayed no experience or interest in politics. As the story goes, she was called into Trump's office and he told her he was going to make her press secretary for his upcoming presidential campaign. A true fairy tale ending. 3. She was rumored to be dating Trump's campaign manager, but they broke up after 6 years. Cosmopolitan reported she broke up with her boyfriend of 6 years during the campaign because she became too busy with her new job. Rumor has it that this boyfriend is Corey Lewandowski, Trump's former campaign manager who was fired for pushing a female reporter. Oh, and he is married and has been since 2005. He married Allison Hardy, who he had known since he was in the 9th grade and she was in the 8th, after they rekindled their relationship after his best friend and her husband was killed in the 9/11 attacks. 4. She talks about Trump like a teen in love. This is from a statement she issued in May. President Trump has a magnetic personality and exudes positive energy, which is infectious to those around him. He has an unparalleled ability to communicate with people, whether he is speaking to a room of 3 or an arena of 30,000. He has built great relationships throughout his life and treats everyone with respect. He is brilliant with a great sense of humor and an amazing ability to make people feel special and aspire to be more than even they thought possible. 5. Trump created a position for her that just so happens to also have the highest salary in the White House. When he was elected, Trump created the White House Director of Strategic Communications position specifically for Hope. The duties of this role have not been clearly identified, but seem to be coordinating media appearances, advising him on messaging, serving as a confidant on key matters involving personnel and executing his agenda. Also, it doesn't hurt that it came with a salary of $179,700, which is the same as former strategist Steve Bannon and former Chief of Staff Reince Priebus. She was recently promoted to Communications Director, a role vacated by Anthony Scaramucci whose time at the White House was controversial and even ended at the same time as his marriage. Since her former salary was already the top of the payment bracket for White House jobs, it is unclear if she receive additional compensation for her new role. 6. She's with him virtually all the time. Not only is Hope Hicks next to the president virtually 24/7, but their offices are also super close to each other's. Which makes sense. 7. Again, she was a model. She was a teen model for Ralph Lauren and was featured on the cover of the popular young adult novels above. Now, this doesn't mean you can't be a model and the president's most trusted political aide and not have an affair, but it's probably why the rumors started. Trump is known to have an affinity toward models. 8. She dictates his tweets. Apparently, she's one of the few people who tweets for Trump. She writes what he tells her to, and it doesn't look like she does much editing. 9. Her colleagues are openly worried about her and her career. Trump is a very controversial president to work for, and professionals close to Hope are worried. She made a choice to work for the most fascist candidate in recent American history, one political spokesperson told GQ. Everyone who knows her tells her to stop doing this and putting her name on stuff. She is going to regret everything she's said and done. And I don't think she knows it yet. 10. Her mom has told her she needs to write a book about her time with Trump. Hicks has said that her mom, Kay, told her she should write a book about her experience with President Trump. Hicks replied with, "You don't even know." 11. Trump paid for her apartment during the campaign. Unsurprisingly, Trump let Hicks live rent-free in one of his many buildings. Surely it was a pretty nice setup. 12. She flies super under the radar. Unlike her boss, she doesn't have a Twitter and her Instagram account is private. Despite being the press secretary for the campaign, she hardly ever spoke in public. What's with all the secrecy? 13. She's known as the Trump Whisperer. This young woman is basically the gatekeeper to Donald Trump. He often says that he's lucky to have he and compliments her often. She's got very good judgment, he said. She will often give advice, and she'll do it in a very low-key manner, so it doesn't necessarily come in the form of advice. But it's delivered very nicely. 14. Her family is worried. Her mother told the New York Times that they're worried about the intensity of her work. She doesn't really talk to anybody anymore, she has no life, she said. I have to hope the Secret Service is keeping them all safe. It's a crazy atmosphere. I can't actually let her know how worried I am. 15. She admires Trump. I mean, yeah, he's her boss, of course she's gonna say good things about him. But this is a little much. When we got off the plane, there were hundreds of people pressed up against the fence with signs, waiting to see Mr. Trump, she told Marie Claire. We had been campaigning for a couple of weeks at that point, but this was really the first stop where we all looked at each other and said, there's something going on here. We drove to the event with a police escort, and there were thousands of people in the parking lot. He was like a rock star. 16. He may have recruited her from a photo. If he really did just chose her from a photo, then you know her looks had something to do with it. 17. Trump might have another girlfriend in Florida. Rumors have been circling this past week that Trump might have a mistress in Florida. That's the rest of what Claude Taylor revealed via Twitter. Many members of the MSM and others seem to know or believe that Trump has a regular girlfriend in Florida that he sees at Mar-a-Lago. Is it true? I cannot say for certain. What I do know is many credible people believe it to be true, including lots of reporters. According to multiple sources I have on this, it's an open secret in the White House, and everyone seems like they're in on it except the public. Again, multiple sources are saying Melania is fully aware and not bothered. As I and others have tweeted, she was planning on leaving the marriage until Trump's unexpected victory. Separate lives. And